So in support of a number of videos I'm making, I'm building out a small little database, nothing big, fairly small, but I wanted to get some real data into it so I can run queries against it and make things actually work as part of the testing. And this is all taking place on Amazon RDS. So I needed some data. So I took the chance and tried out SQL Data Generator to see if it could connect up to AWS RDS, and sure enough, it is connecting up. It's a little bit slower because it's running across the internet, so it's taken some time for it to get all the permissions and everything. But it connected up, and it was able to create projects and load. So I'm now going to go in here and modify this a little bit so I can get the kind of information I'd like to see generated, and then I'm going to try loading the data. So give me 1 second just to set things up. Okay, so what I did was I went through and picked a few numbers. So for vendors, I've set it down to only 30 different radio vendors. For radios, however, I've got 5,000 radios, and bands, I've got it set right now to 12. I'll have to come in and do some editing around some of this stuff to get it all more realistic. But I've got about 5,000 radios and about 8,000 radios to bands. That's going to give me a good set of data. So now the question is, will this data generate? Let's find out. Cool, so it knows what's data it's going to, and let's see if it can run. It's generating my data, which means it's going through the process of putting it together internally, figuring out which data it's going to insert first. And it's going to start from the outside in, inserting, various data for, it's going to create the vendors and the bands before it creates the radios because of the relational nature of the data. Same thing with the radio band. It will be the last bit of data inserts, again, because of the relationships enforced between them in the foreign keys. But it is generating the data. We will see how it goes. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it should work just fine because to all intents and purposes, what it's seeing when it looks at Amazon RDS is a SQL Server instance with databases. Most of the queries that are necessary to load data are very benign, simplistic queries against the structures to get back the foreign keys, the primary keys, the data types. All of these should simply work inside of an Amazon RDS database. So there is no reason why this wouldn't work, but I haven't tested it until now with you, and I'm testing it now. So we're up to 95%. It's looking good. 96%. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see if it's going to come through okay. And it's finished. It's loaded all the data. It's all there. Well, now let me switch applications, and we're going to do a test to see if we've got data. So I've got Ham Shack Radio here on Azure Data Studio, and you can see my tables and stuff. Okay, so let's try running a new query. Let's see, DBO dot. Let's just try from vendor. We won't have to return too much data. Yes! Okay, that's great news. So I was able to use Data Generator against AWS RDS and load up data and get things going. So now I can actually go and do I was actually really looking forward to doing some other testing, but now that I've got data, I can get to that other testing much faster. So thanks a lot. That's great to see. Data Generator works with AWS RDS. That's it. My name is Grant Fritchie. I work for Redgate Software.